Good evening, believers. How are you doing today? This is Love Coach Dasha coming to you today for the Healing Hour Live. Now, if you've never been with me before, I know there are a ton of new people in the Facebook group. If you've never been with me before, I am a coach for women who want to stay and reconcile after infidelity. I know it's a hard thing to do. I know it's one of those things that people tell you can't be done, but I am here to tell you that that is not true. You can have a renewed, stronger relationship after infidelity if that's what you so choose. Unapologetically unique. I see you over there on Instagram. Hey, girl. We are, looking good. 156. See you over there on Instagram too. Glad that you are here with me. Now, what we do is we talk about all the things that you can talk about with reconciling. So if you've never been with me before, you've got questions about it. You don't know how to trust again. You don't know how to open yourself up in love again. You don't know how you can ever get past this part, this painful part right here. I am here to give you all the answers. All right. If you are looking for them, I have them for you. Okay. All right. So I see that some of the new people have been seeing my previous videos. If you have seen my videos before, I love to know when you see my video. So if you are just now catching it later on, go ahead and put hashtag replay. But if you're here with me right now, please feel free to ask me all sorts of questions about your healing journey as you are moving forward, getting past this infidelity. All right. Now, a lot of what I talk about is trying to overcome the trauma that has happened to you. That's the big thing here. A lot of the reconciliation, the reconnection to your honey can't happen until you calm your brain back down after this traumatic event has happened. So, the things that I start off with, and I'm going to start off with, I always start off with tonight, are going to be things that you can do all by yourself without including him, without trying to make him participate in the healing, especially when he doesn't have a clue how to participate and he's not doing really well with that. All right. Things that you can do on your own that are going to start to make you feel better. Calm your brain down. Tell your brain that you are safe, that you do not need the fight or flight response that your brain produces when you've undergone a trauma. It does not need that reaction to happen right now. You don't need all the questioning thoughts, all of the, well, do I know all the information? And is it going to hurt me again? You need to calm all that down. I call it fear speech, but it's the stuff that you hear inside your head and the stuff that other people say to you that tells you that this is a scary thing to do and you should be afraid of it. You should not be happy about this. You should be very cautious going forward. I want you to stop listening to the fear speech and start listening to your own opinion about this. If this is the person that you love, if this is your person, all right, you know that better than anybody, okay? Nobody can tell you that this is not a good person for you. If you are saying that this is the person who is your person, the person that you love, the person you want to open up to, the person you would do the work to forgive because you intend to stay with them and be with them for a lifetime, if that's the person, that's who we're working with, okay? Hey, Rose Watson Coaching, I see you over there on Instagram. Hey, girl. That is your person. If your person is the one that makes your heart sing, my husband is just the one for me, okay? He makes me light up. He makes me feel like I am beautiful and smart and funny, and he sees me differently than anybody else in the world sees me. I knew from the very first moment I met him that he was going to be different. He was going to be my person. And I was right about that. All right. Hey. I was right about that. I was really feeling that when I first met him, when I first started vibing. Okay. So if you got that person, you shouldn't feel afraid or ashamed of yourself for loving this person and wanting to be with this person, for wanting to forgive them, for wanting to reconnect and reconcile with them. You shouldn't feel ashamed of that. If you found that great love of your life, even just one of them, because I believe you can have more than one, but if you found that great love in your life and you don't want to let go of it just because they were an idiot, I'm totally with you on that. All right. That's the way I felt about it. I was like, he is not messing up my love story just because he's an idiot. right? I was determined that that was not going to be the way that my story ended. And it's not the way the story ended. The story ended, well, it hasn't ended yet, but the story is we got to our happy ever after. We're living in our castle, feeling good about ourselves at the end of this fairy tale, okay? We may have more adventures to come. There may be more that comes up. I know that's right, Rose. Amen. Thank you, girl. I know that there could be more to the story that comes up. But right now, the story that I have is a great love that survived a great amount of turmoil. And I love that story. I love that that's our story. So I'm going to tell that story. I'm going to tell you that you can have that story too. You do not have to have the, oh, we broke up because he was an idiot story. We can have the, our love overcame everything story. And I'm all for that story, all right? So, first thing that I'm going to tell you that I'm always going to tell you every single time we get together, every time I see you, I'm going to tell you to do your deep breathing, okay? I need you to be on that. I need you to do that for me. I need you to start working on this and making this be a practice in your life on a regular basis, not just when you get upset and you're trying to calm yourself down. No, no. No, no, no. We cannot just let it go that long because we're trying to change things that have happened in your brain because of this trauma. We have to be consistent, okay? We cannot do it a little bit here and there and think that it's going to work. I need you to do this practice 5 times a day. Can you promise me that? Everybody that's here with me on Facebook, if you're here with me on YouTube, over here on Instagram, can you do 5 times a day, just taking a moment to breathe? It should not be that big a deal. All right. You can program me into your phone. It only takes about a minute and a half to do a set of deep breathing. You need to be doing this consistently because what happens is when you're upset, when you have been traumatized like this, your anxiety is way up here. All right. We've got to start bringing it down. Bringing it down. Every time we do our deep breathing, we bring it down a little bit more and a little bit more and a little bit more till we get it down at a level where we can actually deal with it. We can do something about it. So we need to be consistently doing this deep breathing. The other reason why that works so well is that when you no, that's right. Do your breathing, Rose. When you do this deep breathing, you are telling your brain the opposite message than your brain is experiencing as this trauma is unfolding. Your brain will automatically think that everything is a danger at this point, that you are in danger, that you need to be looked out for, and it will shoot adrenaline into your system at any given time, have you panting for breath, feeling awful because it has made you feel like you're in danger when you're not actually in physical danger right this minute. So when you do the deep breathing, that's the opposite of the breathing you do when you're all worked up like that. And so if you consistently show your brain that you are in control of your breathing, that tells your brain, oh, she must not be in danger. There must not be a threat here. I guess we can calm down. And we need that, right? We need that desperately as we are trying to heal and reconcile. We need to be able to be calm. So we're going to do our deep breathing together. I need you to do 4-7-8 breathing with me. What you're going to do is blow out, get as much carbon dioxide out of your lungs as possible, because that's another physical thing that happens when you're getting all worked up, when you're getting traumatized, when you're dealing with that. You end up sipping the air and never really fully letting that breath out. And so you get an increased level of carbon dioxide, which in and of itself can make you feel more anxious. So we're going to get all that carbon dioxide out of our lungs. We're going to inhale for a count of 4. If you can breathe through your nose, is even better. Hold that breath for a count of 7. And then we're going to blow out like we're blowing out an entire cake full of birthday candles for a count of 8. All right. Join me, will you? We're going to do this 3 times just because of time on the live, but I want you to be doing this 5 times by yourself. And I do have a video on YouTube. It's Love Coach Dasha channel. You can look that up. It says start here and breathe. That's the beginning of the I think it's one of my first videos on YouTube. You can go on YouTube and just have me do this for you. I can count along with you. All right. All right, so we're going to do 3 times together. Blow out, in for 4, hold for 7, and blow out for 8. First thing, blow out, make the noise. Inhale through your nose. 2, 3, 4. Hold it. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Blow out. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Again, inhale. 2, 3, 4. Hold it. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Blow out. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Last time. Inhale. 2, 3, 4. Hold it. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Blow out. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Lovely. How do you feel when you do your deep breathing? When you sit there and take a moment for yourself, a little self care, and just breathe. Inhale fresh oxygen, exhale that carbon dioxide. You're going to feel a little bit better. You're going to feel a little calmer. You're going to feel a little bit more rational because you got some oxygen flowing to your brain. Okay. We need to be doing this consistently 5 times a day. Okay. Next thing that we're always going to do that I want you to be doing consistently. Consistency is the key here. Thank you, Rose. Consistency is the key. And what I need you to be doing is doing your journaling. Have you been doing your journaling? Have you been sitting down and taking some time, again, some self-care time, and writing your thoughts, writing your feelings, writing your triggers? Have you been sitting down with that? I need you to do that if you have not done that. I need you to sit down with your journal. It does not matter what kind of journal you use. This one, look how cute that is with the watermelon theme. Came from the Dollar Tree. Look at that. This one, I think this came from Five Below, I think. Think Like a Queen. And this one I know came from Five Below. Look, I got the Golden Girls, okay? So it does not matter what kind of journal you use. I don't care what kind you use, as long as you're using it, okay? I need you to be using it on a regular basis. First thing in the morning when you get up, about 5 minutes. Think about your day. What could trigger me today? What am I afraid of today? What did I go to bed last night thinking about and stressed out about? Have I worked that out of my head this morning? Is there something that I am anticipating going wrong? Is there something that I could anticipate going right? Write those things down in your journal. You need to be keeping notes. I know when you are in this state, when you are traumatized, when you are feeling bad, you think that your memory is wonderful. I am here to tell you it is awful. When you are in that traumatized state, you remember some details with crystal clarity, but some things get completely pushed to the side because of like tunnel vision from the anxiety. There's all sorts of reasons, but your brain will not keep everything. So what we need to do is start writing stuff down, right? We need to start writing it down so that we can go back to it later. Now, when you do your journaling, like 5 minutes, morning and night, morning time, and I said that, and then nighttime, like put down your thoughts, put down things that stressed you out during the day, put down things that you want to work on, you want your brain to be working on at night while you're sleeping. All right. When you do your journaling, you need to have 3 things. You need to have your date, you need to have your time, you need to have a level of anxiety. All right. Your date and time is there so that you can go back and you can actually see patterns. If you know that you're stressed out, you are having a panic attack, and it is 9:17 p.m. on a Thursday, and you look back in your journal and 9:22 p.m. last week on a Thursday, I was feeling this type of way. You will be able to make those connections. You'll be able to find out what your triggers are before the triggers happen. Okay, you'll know what is coming, and then you'll be able to deal with it better. So you need to be writing those things down, and you need to write your level of anxiety. Level of anxiety 0 to 10, right? 0 is no anxiety whatsoever. Everything's right with the world. Then there is a 10. A 10 is loss of control. A 10 is I want to rip my hair out, tear my clothes off, run screaming down the street naked. That is a 10, okay? If you are sitting at your journal, sitting at your desk with your little pen in your hand, you are probably not at a 10, okay? You are probably throwing the pen if you're at a 10. All right, you're probably ripping the journal if you're at a 10. You are not sitting there calmly writing. out of 10. Okay. Just so you have that clue before you even start this journaling process. All right. You're probably not at a 10 if you're sitting there journaling. So you can say, like, I'm a 9. You can say I'm really elevated, but I'm not quite at a 10 because I have not lost control of myself. Okay. Before and after the journal entry, you write the level of anxiety before and then after. If you have that, you can tell, oh, the journaling's actually helping, because usually the anxiety will be down some at the end of that journaling session. Okay, so work on that. Do your journaling. Sit down. You need to sit down and have moments with yourself, moments with your own feelings, moments to just think about what is going on inside your own head and put it down on paper. And then you can be able to come back to it, because whatever you write down is going to be important later. Okay, it is. I promise you it is. It will tell you something that you did not know. All right. So, who's been doing their journaling? Anybody doing their journaling? If you haven't been doing your journaling, go ahead and fess up. But I have tried to get back into my actual paper. I was doing it in my phone, but I like writing. And so I've been trying to get back to paper journaling, and I've been doing pretty good. I skip a day here and there, but I've been doing pretty good about it. And it does make me feel better. And I like being able to flip back pages and be like, oh, yeah, this happened then. And then look, this happened then. It's really easy to make those connections when you go ahead and do that. All right. All right. Third thing that I'm always going to tell you every single time I see you is to cultivate an attitude of gratitude. Okay. I need you to be grateful for things. I know that sounds crazy. I know it does, but it is very helpful as the healing is starting for you. You every AM and PM. I know that's right, Rose. I know that's right. Got to do it first thing in the morning, first and last thing at night. It is helpful. It gets that stuff out of your brain. Um, but okay, third thing, being grateful. Gratefulness is going to be a stepping stone from, if we are miserable, right? It's very hard to convince your brain that you can just be happy again. It's very difficult to jump from I'm miserable, I'm unhappy to I'm feeling wonderful and happy. Gratitude is a middle step. Gratitude is, you can't tell me. I don't care what you say, brain. I don't care how much this trauma was. You can't tell me that I'm not grateful for the internet. Okay. I am super grateful for the interwebs to be able to get out here and talk to everybody. It does not matter how sad my day is, it does not matter what happens. I am still grateful for that thing. So it does not matter. Your brain can't ruin it for you, because you know things that you're supposed to be grateful for. And if your brain tries to tell you, well, no, you shouldn't be grateful for that, you're like, wait, cool out. Because you know that is something I should be grateful for. You can correct that. You can find that thought instead of that thought just digging down into your brain and telling you that you shouldn't feel good about this thing. You can find that thought and dig it back out instead of letting it kind of just worm its way in the middle of your brain and sit there. Okay. So I want you, tell me, everybody that's here with me today, everybody's on Facebook, everybody on Instagram, tell me some good stuff. Tell me something positive that has happened in your life this week. I want to hear about the good news. You have trauma, absolutely, but you also have wonderful, beautiful, awe-inspiring things that happen to you on a regular basis. You've got to focus your brain onto those things so that it can start to pull you away from the more negative and lean you towards the positive. It starts to change the way your brain chemistry is working. After trauma, your brain is skewed to look for the negative. That's why the whole I want to go with my gut thing doesn't work after a trauma, because you've been traumatized and your body and your brain are reacting to that, and your gut is not telling you the truth. Your gut is afraid. Your gut is telling you all the things that you could possibly be afraid of. It's actually a small part of your brain called the amygdala. It's the worst case scenario portion of your brain. It works overtime when you have been hurt. So you can't tell what your real gut feeling is until you can calm that down. So we've got to start feeling that good stuff. on a regular basis so that we can actually hear our real internal messages, the things that really are true inside of us. We can't hear those if we are terrified, if we are sitting there absorbing all the fear, thinking all the fear speech, having a hard time with ourselves. We're not going to be able to get in contact with reality. You know what I mean? So we've got to start to work on that. Got to come up with good stuff to look for to reprogram your brain. So Rose said, recovered really quickly from a trigger yesterday. Good. Recognized what was happening, talked to myself and stayed calm, chill, safe, and it passed so quickly. Exactly, Rose. Once you can recognize the triggers, that's a whole thing. That's a whole thing unto itself. It's just, I'm grateful that you just recognized it. Just that part alone is really difficult because the fear, the reaction in your body says you're perfectly justified in this trigger. I don't know what they're talking about if they say that you should calm down. So just recognizing that, oh, I could kind of go off right now, and then actually doing something about it. I am super impressed with you, Rose. Very good job. Okay. That in and of itself, just recognizing it and then making that connection and doing something about it. That's beautiful. That's gorgeous. That is the space that we're trying to conquer, the space in between trigger and reaction. That is the space we're trying to conquer, okay? All of the changes, all of the healing that you're going to do is in that space. Okay, so we got to work on that. You said, I'm so grateful to my past self who worked that muscle and did the work you teach us. Exactly. Thank you, Ruth. And that is a big thing about it. If you do it consistently, your brain will fall into the pattern. Your brain will be like, oh, I remember this. This is what we do about this situation. We calm down, we breathe, we reevaluate, we check ourselves and see if we're tripping about this yet. It is exactly that. You gotta work that muscle. And then later on, it's like automatic. Then it has become really automatic for me after all these years. I can stop myself from starting a fight on a regular basis now. He doesn't do too much now that makes me want to start a fight, but every now and again I'll get a little triggered. I'll be like, you know what? I'm not going to even do that. So good job over there, Rose. Anybody else got anything good over here on Facebook? Got anything positive, things that you're feeling grateful for today? Just want to let you know you can share that with me. I love to share the good news because it's really easy when you're on this path to find a lot of people who are also hurting and you don't hear a lot of good news. And then that starts to make you feel kind of defeated. It crushes the hope a little bit. So I want you all to know that other women are experiencing good things alongside this trauma happening. It is not just that this trauma is going to take over your life for the rest of your life. You're also going to have good things that happen that is going to help change your perspective, help you feel a little bit better. All right. Last thing that I'm always going to tell you every time we get together is stop asking all those damn questions. Okay? Stop it. Stop doing it. Don't do it. Okay? Stop asking the questions. You're not going to get what you need from the questions. I know that your brain is telling you, and this is again another trauma response, another thing that your brain does when you've been hurt. It asks a whole ass load of questions, okay? It asks questions until you go to sleep. It asks questions from the time you wake up. It will consistently be doing that because what your brain wants to do in a trauma, when it has recognized a danger, it will want to get as much information as possible about that danger. And it will demand that you keep asking questions of your mate. Now, I'm here to tell you, number one, he can't give you all the answers right now, all right? He's in the middle of making a bad decision. Most people in the middle of making a bad decision can't tell you about that bad decision yet, okay? If you're in the middle of making that bad decision, if you're still there, if they're still seeing them, they have been talking to them, they're still in the middle of a bad decision. So they're not going to see their actions very clearly. So you're not going to get the answers that you want. And the answers do not heal you. Those answers are your brain's way of creating more ammunition against them. It is not to help you reconnect with them. It is not to help you understand them so that you can love them better. It is not that. It is trying to keep you away. It's trying to keep you isolated. Every time your brain comes up with another question and says, well, if I know the answer to this, then maybe we could heal. If he answers this question, then maybe we can move on. It is always moving the goalpost on you. Does anybody know what I'm talking about when I'm talking about that? When I'm saying to you that the questions keep coming, even when you get all the answers, the questions keep on coming and keep on coming and keep on coming. That is a trauma response. It is not normal. Okay. Do you do that on a regular basis? Do you have to ask every question that's in your head on a regular basis and have to have a good answer for each one? No, you don't do that. That's not regular for you. That is a trauma response. So we've got to stop that. We've got to stop doing that. I know that it's disturbing. I know that you want to ask. I know that your brain almost itches for it, right? Your brain is saying that you have to have this information. It is treating your mate like a threat. It is saying that this is a danger to you and we must know everything about this danger. You have to ignore that. You have to tell your brain, no, this is not a danger. This person loves me. Yes, he messed up. Yes, he's an idiot. Yes, he is. However, that does not mean that he doesn't love me. That doesn't mean that I don't love him. We want to be connected. I want to be connected to this person. So we cannot keep on trying to come up with reasons why we should be apart. All right. And that's what your brain is doing. Every time it asks those questions, it's trying to get you to isolate, to back away from your mate instead of getting closer. Okay. Does that make sense, everybody? You with me on that? Give me some likes over there on Facebook. Let me know that you're there. Nobody's saying anything. I know you're there. Let me get some likes. Let me know that you're here. Okay. You know the algorithm. Cindy, I see you over there. Yeah, you gotta give me some feedback so the algorithm knows that you love me. Okay. And of course, again, hashtag replay if you're catching this later. All right. Rose, you said it's just a lie. You won't actually get relief from more info most of the time. It's true. Your brain will keep telling you you're going to feel so much better when you get this answer, but you're not. Okay. It's going to crush you. You're not going to be happy about the answer no matter what it is. And are you even going to believe the answer? That's the other thing. You don't believe anything they're saying if you're in that untrusting mode. So, what is the point of asking questions of somebody you don't believe? Okay. We got to get a little bit down the healing path. And let me tell you, you will find out the things that you want to find out. It's just not going to be at the very beginning. Okay. You've got to travel a little bit. You got to go down the healing path a little bit to be able to get to these answers. My husband came up with a piece to it that he did not recognize, like back in September. And it's been 16 years since the last time we had to go through the whole cheating thing with him. So 16 years later, he is putting together pieces, understanding the pain and the issues that he was going through then to be able to tell me about it now. He didn't know back then. He couldn't tell me. He could not give me that clear idea about what was going on with him. I had to come up with like an outline. What my three whys for why they cheat is sick, sad, and stupid. Mostly, it's some kind of pain, sickness in some kind of way because we're not at our best when we're sick. Some kind of loss created some sadness, and it could be stupid, which is just the stupid things that we're taught about being in relationships. Men are taught, oh, you're supposed to have a whole bunch of women, and women are taught, well, no, you're only supposed to be with one man. So we just in general, we've been taught stupid things. If he had a whole bunch of male role models where that was the thing, they all cheated, he's going to think that that is his thing. So that's stupid. All right. Having that compassion understanding what was going on with him. I knew after a while, I found out that he did have bipolar disorder. I was like, oh, he was sick. And then he's got a history of abuse, and he's got some issues with family members in the past, got some sadness. And then there's a lot of stupid, a lot of stupid that I know about, that I've met his family, I've met all his people. I know it was a lot of stupid that he had to deal with growing up. So I know that that is what's going on with him. I knew that even then. I had a better idea about what was going on with him than he did at the time. So I'm here to tell you, you will probably know better than he does exactly why this happened. All right. But even if you don't know, usually it is some sort of pain. Nobody is making this bad of a decision. We all know cheating is wrong. It's a given. We know that. Nobody makes this bad a decision if they're feeling good about themselves. If they're feeling like, oh, things are going well in my life, they're not making bad decisions like this. Okay. So we got to understand it's some pain. Yes, it is. But we do not need to know all the details about what was going on in their head, what they did with the other person. We don't need that. It's not helpful to you. It does not help you heal. Okay. Now, that being said, like I said, it's like an itch in your brain. When your brain is like, I must ask a question, these are better. All right. This is the healing edition. THEAND. Look this up. These, if you just put THEAND on Amazon, you can find these cards. They're about $30. Excellent questions for healing, thought-provoking questions, deeper questions that you can ask this person and talk to them about something other than the trauma, other than the pain. If we are not in a good regulated place and we talk about pain, we are just re-traumatizing ourselves all over again. So these cards are a better way of going about that. Instead of asking those questions about what has happened, you can ask questions that are safer, that are going to make you feel a little bit closer to each other. Does that make sense? All right, so I'll give you a couple of them. Number one, this one is, what was the last thing to happen that reinforced our trust in one another? Isn't that an interesting thing? Because you got to go both ways on that. What was it that made me trust you? What was it that made you trust me? You want to be looking for that. We're going to talk about trust in a second, because I know that's a question for somebody, but that's an excellent question to think about. Now, that doesn't mean go in and dig about the trauma, okay, and tell them, well, I can't trust you anymore anyway. That's not answering the question, okay? Try and stick to what's on the card, trying to stick to what's on the question, okay? What was the last thing that happened that reinforced our trust in one another? It was a good thing. We felt good about each other. We felt positive about our connection and our trust in each other. I'm trying to tell you, every time my honey is like, I was having a bad day the other day. He could just tell. He just looked at my face. He was like, do you need a nap? He was like, you want to lay down? Do you need a nap? I was like, I think I do. I think I need a nap. That just reinforces my trust in him, that he can just look at me and see that I'm needing something. That does it for me. I felt so trusting. You know what I mean, Cindy? So true. Exactly, girl. All right, so this is another question. Where would you say our relationship began? And where do you think it may end? Isn't that an interesting one? It's funny. I met my husband at a hotel on the beach. I live in Virginia, so we met in Virginia Beach. And every time I think of that day, okay, I think about the moment I actually laid eyes on him, but like I feel like if it's asking me this question, where would you say our relationship began? It was in the parking lot of Wendy's. We had walked down to Wendy's and we ate together and we talked, and it was vibing like it was on the phone, and I was like, okay. And in the parking lot, I was like, if this man does not kiss me, I am going to lay one on him. I am going to. And it was like he read my freaking mind and took me in his arms and gave me this kiss that made me weak in the knees. And I like that's when it began in my head. Cause we had been talking for like months before then and actually like saw each other in person finally months later. But whoo, that kiss, that was the one. That's the moment the relationship started for me. Taylor, I see you over there on Instagram. Hey girl. All right, one more question. When was the last time you misunderstood me? And what have you learned from it? Isn't that interesting, right? There's misunderstandings that happen. And it's weird because like every like misunderstanding that happens after the infidelity, you will start to try and make it link to the infidelity. And sometimes it doesn't have anything to do with it. Sometimes it was just a miscommunication and you misunderstood something, he misunderstood something, and it doesn't mean that he's cheating or anything like that, but it will be hard to believe that at first. Your brain will be like, no, it has to have to do with the cheating. You're like, no, I think this is just a misunderstanding. All right. So, when was the last time you misunderstood me, and what have you learned from it? Aren't those better questions? Those are better questions than the thoughts that you're having. What position did you have sex in? And did you tell her that you loved her? You don't want to know that. That is not good information to have inside your brain. We don't need to add to the fear speech and the images that come up naturally with a whole bunch of details. Okay. We don't need to do that. That's what makes it so horrifying, especially when you get that reel stuck in your head of the two of them and you didn't see them, but in your head you're like, you got all these details and it's just going in your head and you playing over and over again. Yeah, we don't need that. We need to ask less questions. So stop asking those questions. Okay, can you do that for me? I need you to work on that. I need you to work on that so much that you don't even ask like, how was your day? I switch it around to, I hope you had a great day today instead. Okay. Try and make your brain stop asking questions, period. And then that shocks it out of that response. Okay. That makes sense? All right. See. All righty, y'all. So that's the basics. You all let me know. Got questions for me? I am happy to answer all of your questions. You know how I am. I got answers. I got answers about this healing thing, about getting down this healing path with your honey. I got the answers. So go ahead and put them in the comments so I can answer all your questions. All right, let's see what we got so far. So far, we got some good stuff. We've got the question from Treese. Trees, hi. You said, how can you learn to trust again after you've experienced the ultimate betrayal? Girl, I wish you had been here like a week and a half ago. No, like 2 weeks now. I just did the trust issues challenge. We're doing it again next year, but that's okay. I'll tell you all about it. Trust, as you are trying to get and trying to like rebuild this trust, you got to know what trust is. Trust is a belief. Okay. Trust is not actually proving that this person is doing the right thing. Trust is believing that this person is doing the right thing. And we can practice that. That is a thing we can practice. Okay. So you've got to start off with, okay, I want to trust him again. That's the first thing. I want to trust. I want to be open again. When we first fell in love, we didn't make that choice. I know a lot of people feel like we got with somebody and, oh, we saw so much good stuff from them, then that made us trust them. That's not what happened. Okay, let me just tell you about that right now. That is some BS. That did not happen at all. What happened was your brain changed. You had brain chemicals that were telling you that you love this person and you were kind of obsessed with them and they seemed so perfect and you just wanted to be close to them and wanted to trust them because of the brain chemicals. Okay. It was never them. It was never them. It was never like, oh, he is just such a trustworthy person. You thought that because your brain was bathed in chemicals that made you feel more positive and more open towards them. Now, we don't have that, right? We're not freshly in love. So we don't have our brains bathed in these chemicals anymore. And it's kind of hard once you've been hurt to start to produce those chemicals again. So we've got to make a choice. We've got to decide, I want to trust you. Thank you, Rose. Thank you. It is, I want to trust you. That's what happened when you first fell in love, and then you got past the like obsession stage with them, and you still chose them. You chose to trust them. You chose them to be in your life. So now we just got to do the exact same thing we did already. We got to choose them. We got to choose to trust them. So every day when you wake up, that's what you do. That's how you learn to trust again, is wake up, put feet on the floor and say, I am trusting in this person today. I might not trust tomorrow. I might not. I am only going to worry about today, this day, one day at a time, as they say. And we're just going to trust today. I'm going to believe the best of this person today. Now, again, you may not feel like that tomorrow. Okay. You may not feel like that. It's not even a matter of feeling it. It's a matter of making the choice and then doing it anyway. You will teach your brain that this is not a scary thing as it seems to be. And you are making this choice based upon how you feel about this person and your connection to them. So you're not doing this just all willy-nilly. You are making a choice for your future. You're saying that I love this person and I want to trust this person. I don't want to be in a year from now, 5 years from now, looking at them and feeling like I can't trust them. That's going to be miserable for me. That's not what I want. I want to trust. You have to keep reminding your brain of that. If your brain has been hurt, if you have been traumatized, your brain wants you to isolate and back away from other people so that you will not be hurt again. That doesn't work if you're in a relationship. You have to be able to connect with people if you're in a relationship. So we must decide, that's the main thing. That is the main thing. Getting up every day and saying, I am choosing to trust this person. I am choosing to believe that they're going to do better than they have done before. I would expect the same of them. I would expect that if I messed up, they're going to expect the best of me. They're going to believe in me that I'm going to do my best on the next go round. So that's what you would want from a relationship. That's what you have to give in the relationship. The trust comes back, but it's like every other muscle, you got to work it out. You got to work that muscle over and over again with the resistance of, well, I don't feel trusting. That's the resistance. Okay. When you're working out with weights, that's the resistance, is the weight. When you are working out your trust muscles, the resistance is, well, I'm scared to trust him. I don't know if I should trust him. That's exactly what trust is. That is exactly what trust is. You don't know. You do not know, but you are choosing to believe. And that's real trust. That's how you get to the feeling of real trust again, by practicing trusting every single day. Does that make sense? You all let me know. If you want me to go a little bit more in depth with the trusting again, I am fully for you, because I got the dreams formula. Dreams formula always works, y'all. Dreams formula can be applied to everything as you are healing. Decide, that's the first thing. Recognize and then overcome that fear speech, that thought in your head, this is scary and I shouldn't open myself up to him, and I shouldn't let him inside my walls anymore, and he's going to hurt me. Mm-mm. No, we're not going to believe those thoughts. We're going to just like Rose said, recognize that that's what's happening, that we are triggered, that our brain is telling us something that is not along the lines that we want to go along, and then we have to change that thought. That's what happens when we're trying to trust again. We've got to catch those thoughts and flip them around and tell ourselves, no, he is not going to do this to me again. I believe in him. He is going to do his best. He is a good man. Good men don't cheat. So he's not going to cheat anymore. He's going to be a good person to me and for me. You got to tell yourself that. He is evaluating the why. Like I said, sick, sad, or stupid. There was something wrong. He did this because he did not feel good in some way, shape, or form. That's the only reason to do something that's stupid. All right. So he wasn't feeling good. we can trust that, okay, we know what was going on. We know it was happening when he wasn't feeling well, when he wasn't doing his best. We know what was going on there. We know if those situations are going to come up again. We know that if something that's similar happens again, we need to be there for him and let him know, hey, look, last time this came up, then this was the result. So I just want to make sure we realize that this is the same situation, but you got support. You don't need to do anything dumb. Okay. Allowing the healing to happen. You've got to let that wall down. You've got to put your ring back on and decide that you want to have sex with them again. I know the whole thing. I know women will tell each other, well, no, if you don't want to have sex, then you should not. But nobody is agreeing to a sexless relationship halfway through. Okay. You can't just say to them, well, no, we're not going to have any kind of physical intimacy. And well, I know that you will cheat, but I'm expecting you not to cheat and just to go without because I just don't feel like it anymore. If you just don't feel like it, if you keep on saying that to yourself, if you keep telling your brain that that is what's going on, that's how you will feel. You will keep on telling yourself, well, I don't really want to. I'm not feeling really close with him and I'm mad at him still. So I shouldn't have to do that. You're giving yourself justification not to get close again, not to allow that healing to happen. You've got to make sure that you are doing the things in your relationship now that you would do if you were all healed up. If everything were wonderful, if everything were great, the things that you would do then, you need to start doing them now because that's how you get to great. Okay. M is managing those future feelings. You're going to be triggered sometimes. We need to get in contact with our bodies. Where is the spot where you get triggered? Where in your body do you feel it the most? That is what you need to know. If you know every time you get triggered, it's right here in the center of your chest squeezes, your heart thumps, it feels like you can't breathe, whatever it is. It could be all sorts of things. It could be up your throat. It could be a band in your head. It could be your ears ringing. It could be all sorts of things. But what is it that you feel when you're triggered? Try and figure that out. And then every time you're feeling that feeling, sit there, do your deep breathing, do your journaling, try and calm and center that feeling. Tell yourself that you're safe, that everything is fine, that you are okay, that everything is all right around you. And try and calm that feeling. Try and get back in control of the trigger. The last thing you do is run from a trigger because, honey, a trigger will chase you. Okay. So if you're triggered by like his phone going off, don't tell him, don't have your phone going off. Because then if he doesn't have his phone going off, then you're like, well, who's texting you? Is anybody calling you? Is anybody texting you every time he picks up the phone? It just keeps leading to more and more fear and pain when you listen to what the triggers are telling you. Do not do what the fear tells you to do. It is always the wrong path. It is not the healing path ever. I promise you it's not. Just assume that if your heart is thumping and your brain is screaming at you to do something, it is not the right thing to do. Trust me. Okay. Let's see. And then as seeking support, get some people, coming on in here with us. Get with me and get in my after infidelity mastermind to get other people to tell you that it's okay to trust. That is helpful. It is. It is helpful to tell for somebody else to tell you, hey, look, you're being reasonable, trusting the person that you want to love. Okay. It is unreasonable to try and be in a relationship without the trust. It makes sense to me. You're doing the right thing. It is good to have that on your team. It really is. Okay. So that's all the trust stuff. You got any questions about the trust stuff? Let me know. Let me know. All right, Cindy. He said, Cindy, so that's exactly what I did in trauma time the first 3 months. Oh, yeah, with the asking the questions. Yeah. He said, how can I stop messaging her husband really bad stuff about what they did together? He never replies, but he sees the message. Well, dang, why are you trying to do that to him? I know that in your head, it's I'm lashing out at her. And you may very well be. Every time you do that, he may start an argument with her. You may be causing all types of chaos and drama in their household. And maybe that's why you're doing it. But he's a victim like you are. and you keep on sending him messages hurting him just because you're hurting. We need to stop doing that. Abused people can become abusers pretty quickly. Okay, we gotta be careful about the things that we're doing. Is this something that you would want? Would you want him messaging you every 5 minutes, telling you stuff that they did? No, of course not. I know you want to punish both of them, but you're actually punishing her husband by continuing to send the messages. He's seeing the messages. He's not responding to you. He does not want to talk about it. He does not want to interact about it. You can stop now. You don't have to continue doing that. You don't have to continue hurting another innocent person in this just because they're married to a person that did something sucky. You say you hope for the chaos in the house. I know, but the problem with that is when you do things to hurt other people and you feel like you're justified in it, you're no better than he is. Because he probably felt like he was justified in cheating, didn't he? Most of them do. Most of them feel like that. Most people who decide to cheat feel like, well, I was hurting, so I get to hurt somebody else to do it. So you're on the same exact level with him. You are, in a way, understanding him better than you probably realize that you are. You are saying to another person, because I'm hurting, I'm going to hurt you too. And so that's what happened with him. He was hurting, something was hurting with him, and he decided to hurt you and do this terrible thing to you. And you are doing that to another person. So maybe not do that anymore. You want to start healing. We should make sure that everybody can heal. Okay. You want to heal, you want to still be with your honey. He's still with his honey too. All right. Just because that's his person, that doesn't mean that you got to cause him chaos and turmoil because that's his person. All right. I know you want them to break up or, have them be mad at each other. I get it. I get wanting to punish her, but you're putting way too much emphasis on her, and you're giving her just as much attention as your man did. You're showing her so much attention right now, and it's causing pain and it's causing problems. But you're just like, nope, I just want to cause her some difficulty. So I don't even care if it's causing problems in my own life. You know what I mean? Like, it's mean. Don't do that. You don't want to be like that, Cindy. You don't want to let pain make you be a different person than you are. I understand that this pain will tell you that you are justified in whatever you want to do because you have been so hurt, but that is just not true. We are not justified in doing terrible things to people just because we've been hurt. Just the way that they are not justified in cheating just because they had some pain does not make us justified in hurting people, even hurting them because we're hurting. Okay, we got to decide that we're going to be better people than that. Because if that, what is it, eye for an eye, the whole world goes blind. It's just going to be the way it is. So we want to do better than that. We want to have a better life than that, than trying to get revenge, trying to hurt people, trying to shed our own pain by making somebody else feel it. That doesn't work. The pain will just compound. The pain will multiply. When you start to try and feel better, all right, that's what we want to multiply and compound. Okay, we want to feel the good things coming up to multiply instead of the bad things. Okay, I know it's so easy to be like that, though. It is. I am not a fan of a side chick, though. I'm all for punishing him, but it's her husband. He didn't even do it, so it's not his fault. So we shouldn't keep torturing him. I always like the whole side chick. They think that they're so special. And then I come right back to my spots. And you were nobody. You really weren't. You just wanted to be, a lot of the time they want to be with somebody who is unavailable because they have bad self-esteem. That's what a lot of women do. Their self-esteem must be so bad that they've decided that, oh, well, I'm going to date somebody who's married. And then they're never available. And so then you don't feel bad if he doesn't choose you because he wasn't available in the first place. But then if you can manipulate him and get him to come and be with you, then, oh, that's a huge self-esteem boost. Oh, because, oh, well, he loved me so much that he just wanted to be with me. He didn't. He was just hurting so bad, he made a worse decision. But, can't tell them that. Mm. All right. Anybody got any questions? You'll try that. Good, Cindy. Thank you. I know it's hard, but just we got to focus on being the good people that we are. We cannot let bad things make us be bad people. It's not, it doesn't make any sense. By that time, by that logic, then shoot, everybody just deserves to be cheated on and treated bad. If that's the case. Gina said, I just want the pain to go away. Oh, honey, I want it to go away for you. Okay, I do. I feel like you've been hurting too long already. That is my thing. That is with my after infidelity mastermind. I'm trying to get you. I'm trying to get you out of pain sooner. All right. I know it's a 12-week program, and we sit and we work on it. We sit and we work on all of the components about getting your vision for this relationship as you are going forward cemented into your head so that you are on the path to that vision as we're going along. Telling you about the pitfalls during the month. Honey, hormones and the full moon will screw you all up as you're trying to heal. I got calendars for that. We can lay it all out so that you know when your hormones are going to be messing with you, when the moon is going to be messing with you, the days that you're going to feel really great, feel really positive. We're going to lay all those out. It is an awesome group to be in. It really is. I tell you all the things that you can use to be able to get over this faster. I took about 4 years, I think. Okay, like it was like 4 years he was cheating steadily. And then we came to the end of that. Every now and again he would still be like talking to somebody, but again, that was part of the whole bipolar thing. But like it took me a good 4 years coming up with the dreams formula, applying it on a regular basis, all by myself, nobody to remind me, when I'm feeling all petty. I didn't have anybody to be like, oh, you're being petty, don't do that. I didn't have that. And it took me almost 4 years of healing to get to a place where I was like, okay, I can tell this story and it doesn't make me cry. I can feel pretty good about this decision that I made. It took about 4 years, and I don't want it to take that long for you. Okay. I am here. I got answers for that. I got help for you for that. I don't think that you should keep on hurting forever and ever. I know a lot of people will say, oh, it takes years for you to get over this. It should not have to take years for you to get over this. I don't want you to feel like I got to feel like crap for 2 more years before I can ever start to get over this. You can start to feel better now. Right now, right this minute. Rose Watson coach is saying cycles are not to be underestimated. I am trying to tell you, if you can just get in contact with that, in tune with that. I'm trying to tell you, I started using the Flow app, and just basic information, started putting it in, wasn't barely even using it, but it would send me notifications. It'd be like, hey, your back might be hurting right now. I'd be like, bitch, it's telling me I've got cramps right now. Like, it would be like, you might be a little moody today. I was like, I almost cussed him out 5 minutes ago. It is real good to have that, okay? You need to know what your hormones are going to do on a day-to-day basis so that you can work around them, because trust you me, they will knock you off your feet if you're not paying attention. If I'm sitting there, I know when I am complaining about my husband in my head, and I'm just sitting there like, he didn't even open the door for me. How can he not even open the door? Just weird little stuff that never would have bothered me otherwise. I'm like, oh, that's PMS. Okay. Hold on. Let me take some deep breaths. Let me get myself together here. And I realized, like, okay, all right, No, it's not him, it's me. You gotta know the cycles. And the full moon, like that 3 days before the full moon, people start to ramp up. That energy gets to going. And the moon itself actually pulls the water in the planet. Okay. It's like a bulge on the side where it's pulling on the full moon. And we are people and we are made of water and it pulls our water too. So when that happens, we start feeling it. We start feeling funny. More babies are born when the full moon breaks open. I'm trying to tell you, it really does affect you. Okay, so I want you to be able to get out of the pain faster. You need to know these things. You need to be able to apply these things. You need some support. You need somebody who will tell you, hey, you're making a good decision here. Don't feel bad about yourself. Don't feel guilty. We're just going forward. We're not going to get stuck in all those negative feelings. Sydney, we need somebody who will tell us when we're feeling fearful and we want to be revengeful. You do not need to do that. That is not the type of person you are. That's just the fear messing with you, trying to make you do things that are not you. We're not going to do that. It's super helpful to have that. So honestly, I want you to get into my After Infidelity Mastermind. But if you're not sure about that, if you're on the fence about that, I want you to get on a phone call with me. I want you to get on a Zoom call with me. Go ahead on in my Instagram. It's in my link tree. And in the group, it is in the welcome. It's in the pin post. There's a couple places that you can find the link to get on my calendar. Get on my calendar. Get on my calendar. Come talk to me for about 45 minutes. And worst come to worst, you'll leave it feeling a little bit better and feeling like you got a little bit of a plan. Like you got solid steps that you can take. Now, I want you to have backup for the plan too. So, that's why I want you to work with me. But hey, if you just feel like you can handle it, you get that solid plan and you feel like you can do it on your own, you can. It's just a little easier with a little help. And it's faster. That's the whole thing. Faster. We need to get out of pain faster. Sunday, you said the revenge thing is so sweet. I know. I know. It feels so good. But the thing is, doing bad things that feel good is what got him in trouble. So we don't want to be reinforcing that behavior. We don't want to be saying to him, oh, well, yeah, this was a bad thing, but it felt good. So I'm going to go ahead and do it anyway. Ooh, it's not good. You want to be the example. You want to lead by example. And you want to always have that moral high ground too. You're always saying, well, I'm doing the right things. I'm expecting you to do the right things too. If you're not doing the right things, how are you going to trust that he's doing the right things? That doesn't work. Oh, man. Let's see. Any other questions, comments, thoughts, complaints? Oh, Gina, I'm so sorry that you're hurting. The main thing, I want you to start doing your deep breathing. I want you to start doing your journaling. I want you to start really combating those thoughts that are just twisting your stomach up in knots and making you believe terrible things that you don't even know are true or not. I want you to deny all of those. I want you to fight back against them, okay? Those fearful negative thoughts, are a side effect of the trauma. And if you don't start to rebalance your brain towards the more positive, your brain will just stay skewed towards the negative. It will always look for the worst possible thing. And that's no kind of way to live. That's no fun. It's not going to be a good life for you. Why would you want to do that? We got to start getting back to the middle, getting ourselves regulated, getting our feelings in order, and then we can be able to see like the bad stuff. If they're going to cheat again, you'll be able to see it better from that position, from the position where you are regulating your emotions. You are not just letting the negative thoughts be your only thoughts. If the negative thoughts are all the thoughts in your brain, how can you see when something negative is going on? You're going to assume that everything is negative. So then you're going to miss the thing that really is negative. All right. So we've got to get our brains back balanced, and then we can see what is really happening with our partners in real life. Are they being trustworthy? Or are they not? Are they doing things that can show us that they love us or not? And you can't see that from that place of pain. You can't see it. All right. You said, Rose said, I'm trying to be a woman of integrity. I know that's right, girl. Said, while I'm over here asking him to be integral. Yeah, that's the whole thing. We got to be an example of what we're asking for. Don't ask for something you're not willing to be. You got to go ahead and say, okay, well, if I want you to have integrity, I got to act with integrity too. I cannot just say that I'm justified in doing something that hurts someone else, especially somebody that I love, and then saying, well, they're not justified because they were hurting, but I'm justified because I'm hurting. It's not a good look. It is not a good way to be in a relationship. And nobody wants to be in a relationship that's one sided like that either. If you're going to ask for it, you should be able to do it. All right. So that's what I'm talking about, Rose. That's what I'm talking about. If you gonna act with integrity, I'm gonna act with integrity. We all gonna act with integrity, okay? And I want you all to do that just because you're queens. I don't want you to be reducing your standards for who you are and what you do and the way that you treat people just because you got hurt. Okay. You're a queen, you're above that. Okay. You do not just have to hurt other people because you got hurt. I know hurt people, but you're a damn queen. You're the main character here. And I know that you can keep control of yourself and do the right things in spite of that pain. Don't let your brain tell you that, oh, yeah, I'm justified in doing whatever I feel like doing. Well, shoot, then he's justified too. Then everybody's just justified. Everybody can just do whatever the hell they want to on a regular basis. You can't complain about it then. So, got to be up to standards, got to be up to your moral standards. All righty. Any questions? Questions, comments, thoughts, complaints, anything else you want to talk about? Oh, wait. Hey, Melissa. Hey, girl. Glad you're here. You said triggers. Do they ever completely disappear? Yes. However, they do completely disappear eventually. I'm at 16 years out now, and I don't have any that like come to mind right now. A few years ago, I had one. It was like he was sitting with his back to me on the edge of the bed and he was texting, and I was like, who is he texting? Who is he on the phone with? Why is he smiling? It will be there, but as you work on the triggers, as you learn where in your body that trigger is coming from, learn to calm that place, learn to still that place, learn to do your deep breathing, do your journaling. As you start to make up things that are better habits, those triggers start to disappear. A trigger is just created when you've had a trauma. A trigger is a sensory thing that makes you remember the trauma. So we're not going to ever just like completely get rid of those and you never think about them again. They will go away so much that they don't bother you, right? At this point, like none of them are popping up and making me feel the feeling of them in my chest anymore. But it takes a while. It takes a little bit of time. It takes some practice. It takes not running from the trigger, understanding that the trigger bothers you, and telling your brain, hey, this is not something that I have to avoid. I am safe. I can tolerate this. I can listen to this particular thing more. I can do this particular thing more, and I can calm myself down. So you can actually like tell your brain over time that the trigger is not necessary and it'll start to listen to you, but you got to be working on it. Rose, you said, love you. Thank you for this. You're so welcome. I love doing this. This is one of my favorite times of the week. I love to answer these questions. I love to talk about getting out of this pain. I know like that first stage is devastation, right? You are just a pile on the floor, crushed by this knowledge. But then you get up, like you start to regulate, you start to gather yourself, you start to get back up off that floor. And from then on, we need to be off and running on the healing. Then after that, we got to recreate that relationship. Then we're going to start celebrating because we have created that relationship. And then we get to the inspiration phase, which is the phase that I love the most that I'm in right now is the phase where I can tell you this story and it doesn't hurt me. I can tell you all about the times that he's cheated, things that he did, things that, at the time just broke me. But I can tell you all about him now without any pain in my heart, without any stress about it. And I can tell you that, yes, you can get past those terrible things to a better place. I love being able to share that. And that's the phase that I want you to get into. That is when you know you're healed. That is when you know you have been following the healing path. You are on the way to being fully healed because you can tell this story and you can help another woman. You can say without shame, yes, I stayed. I did that. That was the reason that so many people came into the group this week, because I got on a comment on another group and said, yes, I stayed. It's 16 years later. I was right. He proves me right. It was exactly the right thing to do for me and for my life. That was a good thing. So I want you to be able to share that. I want you to be able to tell other women that and let them know that they're not doing anything wrong by loving who they love and wanting to stay and work it out and forgive this person. If you found that kind of love, if you found a love that makes you want to forgive somebody for something this heinous, then you should have that love. It is magical. It is beautiful. You should be able to have that type of breathtaking love that will forgive for things, that will have compassion for things. You should have that. Absolutely, you should. You should not settle for anything less than that type of love. So if you have that, you're not doing anything wrong by trying to keep it. Okay? The triggers will disappear. The pain goes away. You get to a place where you barely even think about it. Who said that in the group the other day? That was, oh goodness. Christine, was that Christine? Said that she had just had a few days where she didn't think about it at all. She didn't think about them. She didn't think about him. She didn't think about cheating. Yeah, it was. It was Christine. Had like 3 days in a row that she didn't think about it at all. You will get to that point. I think she's maybe at 2 years, if I'm correct. But you will get to that point where you don't think about it at all, where it is not painful, where it's not something that's constantly on your mind, constantly thinking about, constantly trying to heal from. You will have gotten, hopefully, if you work with me, you will have gotten all of the skills that you need. And then as you apply them, it gets easier and easier because you are doing them consistently. And your body and your brain remember that, oh, hey, we've done this before, and you can continue on down that healing path. I am fully for you on that. I hope that you have that soon. All right. I want to help you get out of pain as soon as possible. So if you are interested in working with me, go ahead and get on a call with me. Go to Instagram, my link tree, or go to the Love After Cheating group. If you're not in Love After Cheating, I don't know why you're not, but come on over there and join Love After Cheating on Facebook. I spend a lot of time in that group. All right. And I want you to just, I want you to heal. I want you to feel better. I want you to talk to me. So go ahead and get on a call with me, and I'll tell you a little bit more about my After Infidelity Mastermind. See if you want to join me for that. And yeah, that's about it. I think I don't see any other questions. No, let me see. Let me make sure I refresh. Thank you, Melissa, Gina, and Treese. I appreciate your questions. Good job there. All right. Don't see any other questions up here that I need to answer. All right. Good. All right. So that's about it. So, last thing that I'm always going to tell you when we are together, same thing about dealing with the trauma in our brains, is to start doing your affirmations. I need you to do your affirmations on a regular basis, okay? I need you to go get yourself a deck of cards with them, go look up a list on the internet, whatever you need to do. I need you to start saying some affirmations, some good things about yourself to yourself. This is how you do an affirmation. What you're going to do is you're going to say the opposite of one of those terrible thoughts. All right. That whatever the terrible thought is, I'm so ugly compared to the other woman. No, I am a gorgeous goddess of a queen out here, and anybody is lucky to be with me. Change it around in your head. Do not let that negative self talk that comes with trauma set up shop in your head and just say whatever it wants to about you. If you let that happen, you will get to the place where you can't defend yourself. Your brain will be telling you this and you will be believing your brain because it's your brain. But your brain is an employee, okay? Some things it does on autopilot. You need to be the thinker, get in control of your brain and make it stop doing some of those things that are negative for you. And doing your affirmations is a really good way to stop your brain from saying awful things about you. All right. So you're going to look yourself in the eye. Camera, look yourself in the eye, and then you're going to say the affirmation like you mean it. Say it like it is the most true thing you've ever said. Say it like you're saying it to your best friend and you need her to believe you and you love her so much and you want her to believe this true thing about herself. Say it to yourself with that same conviction, okay? So, like I said, I got cards for everything. Look at this affirmation card. Look how cute that is. Got it from Five Below. So today's affirmation is today I am special. Today I will realize that I am a unique, one of a kind person. And you are. You so are. You are very unique. You are very one of a kind because you are willing to do this. You are willing to love and forgive somebody that has hurt you deeply. That makes you special. That makes you different. That makes you unique. That makes you a type of person that we need on this planet, but we don't have a lot of. Okay. You are willing to recognize that you still have love even through pain. That is the type of person we need on this planet. Okay. I am proud of you for being such a special, such a unique person. So today I am special. Today I will realize that I am a unique, one of a kind person. And you are. All right. All righty, y'all. That's about it for me. Thank you so much for joining me for the Healing Hour Live. If you have not already, go ahead and click the link and get on a phone call with me, get on a Zoom call with me so we can talk about your healing, your plan going forward. And if you'd like to join me for the After Infidelity Mastermind, starting again, we're starting up in 2 more days. So get on that so you can talk to me, all right? All righty, y'all. I think that's it. Thanks for joining me. I'll see you again next week, Thursday, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for the Healing Hour Live. Bye, y'all. Bye, Instagram. And bye over here on YouTube and Facebook.